Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just piggybacking off of Genesis 2 and 18 when I said that God said that he would send a helper suitable for us, right? Which is true. If this content is helping you, hit the like button, subscribe, and send it to somebody, share it. Today we're just talking about relationships. For me, I don't prefer one at all because I'm not going to split my time. Men need attention. You have to be attentive to that person that God gives you. So I'm okay with being celibate. Also, I'm okay with spending time with God and my kids and family and friends. That is my desire. I don't desire it because I'm not going to um, split my time. And that is not being selfish. That is me choosing to know for me what's important in my life right now, right? And right now, um learning God and walking my purpose out for him is more important than a relationship. There are people out here in the world, even I have friends and kids that desire a relationship, and if that's what you desire, God will give you that if that's what he has for your life. But in the meantime, you have to wait, and while you're waiting, what are you doing while you're waiting? Work on yourself, work on your business, work on whatever it is, because 9 out of 10, God could be working on that guy that or woman he has for you. He's working on them. So both of you guys need to be busy about yourself, getting it together, in order for him to make that person suitable for you. A lot of times we get men or women and thinking we can fix them. Personally, me, I wouldn't date anybody unhealed or have issues right now. You will have to be healing or going to your therapy, working in your purpose, this and that and the third, in order for me to date you, because now I'm on a level of healing, right? I'm not dealing with trauma issues. That leads to nowhere. That leads to nowhere. Dating a guy or a woman that's not healed is a disaster, waiting to happen. Can y'all heal together? Probably, as long as you're involving God, but you have to wait on what God has for you. And a lot of times we want what our hearts want, and we're not asking God, is this the guy for me? And we may have been lonely or single for so long that when somebody gives us attention, our heart flutters and we all in love. It does not take God, it could, but it doesn't take God that long to show you who is not for you. My beliefs for me and what I go by is the first 6 months, I should know. The first 6 months, I should know if this person is for me. And that's because during the time that you're dating, you're gaining feelings. I don't want to gain feelings for something that's not mine. So I'm already paying attention to the signs, the red flags. And I do not think that that's God's desire either, for you to wait a whole year before you know that this is not your husband or wife, because you already so invested. And then there's the heartbreak, there's the crying, this and that and the third. So that's why it's important to bring it to him first. And if you decide to overlook the signs that God is showing you, shame on you. That is your fault. There are consequences for your actions when you override what God has already told you. But here's the thing. Today I am just going in a little bit deeper as far as the wisdom of it, why we wait. Um, uh, as far as the relationship part goes, of God sending us a helper suitable for us, that allows me to know that he intentionally creates a man for a woman and a woman for a man. He already knows who he's, he already know who we're going to marry, but we go out and we do our own thing. So I'm going to read Genesis 2 and 18 real quick, and it says, and the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to give you 6 outlines to follow, or just See what is it that you're doing wrong. One thing is this right here: unhealed trauma, unhealed people will always get what they ask for. If you're not healed, of course you'll get anything. That's why you keep getting the same dead beat. That's why you keep getting the same drug addict or the same person that's um that beats you, or whatever the case may be. You get that because you yourself are not healed and you attracted to that thing. Once you start getting healed and coming into the fullness of who you are, you will look at that and like, nah, I ain't doing that. Because I know for me, I wouldn't. Now back then, my thing, because I because of my environment and how I grew up and in the streets, my thing was street boys, drug dealers. Yes, that was my thing. Now that I'm where I'm at, I'm mature and I'm grown, and I'm like, if I desired a husband, I would be looking for somebody mature that work. I never dated somebody that worked, so that would be the first for me. That'll be my desire now. I will not go back to what I used to because I know better and I'm healed and healing, right? So let's get started. Step one, you have to understand God's intent. He created relationships, not confusion. And that is why a lot of people relationship is confused or have a lot of chaos and drama going on because maybe you did not take it to God. And if you did take it to God and he showed you no, because the heart want was the heart want, which deceives you, you went ahead and did it anyway. You thinking that you can change him or you thinking you can change her. You can't change no one, right? So Genesis 2:18 shows God's initiative. He sees the need before Adam asks. God sees your needs before you even ask. God knows that you desire. God knows that you're longing for a husband or a wife. He's going to give you those things, but it's always going to be in his timing. But the question always still comes back to what are you doing while you're waiting on God to prepare you? Are you asking God to are you asking God to help me become a wife or help me become a husband? You have to ask God to help you be what you want, right? If I want a good friend, I got to be that good friend, right? So God designed companionship, purpose driven partnership, and alignment. When we date without God, we settle for connections without calling. And that is the problem. Because we are humans and we have an urge and we have this and we have that, you feel as though your wait is too long. You just feel, oh, I have a connection with this person. But that connection with that person should never be stronger than the calling. Okay? Number two, why we don't ask God. The truth behind our avoidance. Number one, three major reasons we don't ask God. And listen to this: fear the answer. We don't want to ask God because we know he may say no, and we don't want to hear no. Impatient. We want immediate connection instead of spiritual direction. Control. We think we can pick better than God, or we do not trust his timing. I know most of you guys fit into one of those. You fit in one of those because when I looked at it, I was like, I fit in all three: fear of the answer, impatient, and control. We think we know better than God what we need, but we don't. That's why you stay up at night crying. That's why you're riding around trying to see where he at. That's why you're riding around trying to figure out who the girl is, or going through flipping all day through Facebook or Instagram or whatever the case may be, trying to figure out who is he seeing, or better yet, stalking. Now you got to call your friend, say, hey, can you see what's on this person page? And you just go on and go on and go on. Like, no, that's too much work. I'm not doing it. It's too much work. If I have to do all that for a relationship, there is a problem. That is why most people don't ask God. 9 out of 10, the answer may be no. You're impatient and control. You think you know better than God, but you don't. Avoiding God in dating leads to cycles, heartbreak, and confusion. I am too old right now to cry over a heartbreak. I tell my friends that all the time. Like, if I was to get in a relationship and I have to cry over a heartbreak, I'm going to the hospital. I probably have a heart attack. I'm not going through that. I know what a heartbreak feel like, so I know I'm not going through that. So if I was to be the one that wanted to date, I'm going to ask God first. Is this the person? And sometimes when God send you that no, you still force it and try to act like this is what God said. God said this is my husband. But the walk of your life is not even lining up. Neither one of your walk of their life is lining up to what God says a relationship is, right? Okay. So step 3. God's definition of helper. It is somebody suitable for you, not a servant. Not a servant. Someone strong, compatible, spiritually aligned, and mutually supportive. God's helper is someone who helps you obey God, not pull you away from God. Dating someone who does not align with your purpose disrupts your assignment. I have a friend that I said that to. She was going to church and stuff, and then she got in a relationship. She don't go anymore. It's just all over the place. But here's the thing. That is the number one key. If you're dating somebody and they're pulling you away from God, or you see yourself going in a different direction, that is a sign that is not from God. God is going to send you somebody to help you and build you and be supportive of you in your ministry. And even with men, that's what I'm saying. Like with men too, God is going to send you somebody who, if you're going to be a pastor, that person has to be supportive of you being a pastor. Whatever leader you're going to be, they have to be supportive of that thing. Not just, first of all, your family is going to be your first ministry all the time. So you're going to make sure home is good, but you also are going to have to go out into different places and answering the phone different times a night with people that may be suicidal or death or whatever the case may be. You need a partner that is strong in that area to know, okay, this person is just really doing God's job. He's not out here cheating. He's not out here flirting. That is so vital for leaders to know. You know, like you got to have a partner that's going to support what you're doing and making sure you need to make sure that that is what you're doing as well, that you're not out there cheating and flirting or catching feelings for somebody. But it is so vital that you make sure that your partner is aligned with what God is going to do in your life. Even if you meet somebody today and 10 years from now you're still with that person, as God is growing you and as God is growing her, you still want to make sure that this person is on the boat for a long haul, regardless of what God is going to do in your life. Okay. Number 4, what happens when we choose without God? Emotional attachment without clarity. And that is the reason you should never have sex before marriage. You get in a situationship, feelings involved. It's hard for you to make judgment, especially kids. It is hard for you to make sound judgment when sex is involved. It is your emotions, it is your feelings that is in the way that is blocking that. That is why it is so vital to wait until you get married, because I need for my man or you need for your wife to fall in love with you, who you are, your mind, your everything about you, not the sex. Sex confuses it. Sex confuses the relationship before marriage. Staying in relationship out of loneliness instead of purpose, confusing red flags with potential We got to stop doing that. You can't love somebody potential. You can't say, I see somebody potential. Get that out of your vocabulary. Don't even look at the potential. Because you can't want that person potential to come alive more than that person wants it to come alive. 5 years down the road, you still can say, but he has so much potential or she has so much potential. No, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. God cannot bless a relationship he was invited into. Invite God into your relationship. And how you invite God into your relationship is, first of all, asking. Show me, God, if is this the person you have for me? It's okay. Because even if he says no, he's going to send you somebody better. Get rid of that zero so God can send you your hero. Like, no, why do you waste time? That is time wasted. And then once you heal from it, you are so upset. I don't know why I waited or spent this much time on this person, or I brought this or her that. Like, no, just go ahead and dead that. Go ahead and dead that because it's not worth it. Does it happen overnight? No. You're going to actually go to God and tell God what you're looking for, and some people have unrealistic lists, but tell them anyway. But when God sends you your husband, you will know it. Okay. Number 5, what it really means to wait on God for a husband or a wife. And this is what I want you to really understand. Waiting is an active thing, not passive. It's active. So while you're waiting, you're healing. God prepares you for the person and the person for you. So somewhere right now, that person is healing for you and you're healing for that person. Growing spiritually. Your connection to God sharpens your discernment. And that is why I tell my kids, like, you gotta pray for discernment. You gotta read your word, because growing and walking with God sharpens your discernment and you can see it from a mile away. Some people can disguise themselves real good, right? But when you have God involved, God is not going to let that person play you to the fullest. He's going to show you. It's up to you to take action. Like, nah, you're not mine. And keep it moving. Learning your purpose. So God sends someone aligned, not someone random. And that's the problem. A lot of us want to get random and then align them. That's not how it works. That's not how it's going to work. If you feel as though, okay, I can pick a random and I'm going to ask God to bless this random, it's during all the time that you're asking God to bless it, you already exhausted, you already tired, you're already overwhelmed. Everybody done cheated. It's just now you're 50 years old. You have no choice to stay together, or so that's what you think. No, becoming the partner you pray for, not just wanting one, but being one. And that's what I said earlier. Right now, today, start asking God to prepare me, Lord. Prepare me, show me who I am, but also prepare me to be a wife. Prepare me to be a husband. You're not waiting for a person. You're waiting for God's timing and alignment. Timing and alignment. Timing is everything. Okay. How to ask God about the person you're dating. Pray for clarity, not confirmation of your feelings. And that's the problem. A lot of us go off of our feelings. You cannot go off of your feelings for a lot of things. You definitely can't go off of your feelings walking with God, because you can feel like, I don't want to do this, but you also need to do this. Your feelings, you got to get out of your feelings. If you're looking for a husband and you're relying on God to send you that helper, which he will, get out of your feelings. Get out of your feelings. Pray for clarity, not confirmation of your feelings. Ask God to reveal character, motive, and alignment. Watch for peace or disturbance. The Holy Spirit speaks through both. I know I have a story. I don't even think I have enough time to even share it, but I'm gonna have to share it up here while I'm talking about this. So I think my next video is I'm gonna share my experience that I had with the Holy Spirit when I knew that this person wasn't mine. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. But I still was talking, and even though I'm talking, the my inward, it was just so disturbed. It was like a yuck disturb, and I just had to dead it. I had to dead it. Okay, so use scriptures to test the relationships. Be willing to let go if God says so, and that's a hard thing for people to do. They don't want to let go. That's just like addiction. You don't want to let go of that addiction when God say to. But here's the thing: the longer you stay in that, when God is telling you to let go, the harder it is for you. Your breakthrough is on the other side of obedience, even if it's to let that guy go. Okay. Seeking God early prevents heartbreak later. Seek God early. So, this is the thing. I'm going to use an example. Even though I don't desire a guy, right? If a guy came and asked me for my number and we started just chit chatting on the phone, even before when I gave him that number or whatever the case may be, I'm already going to ask God about him. Right at the number exchange. Right at the number exchange. I'm not going to give you my number and not go consult my father about what is going on. No, I'm not going to do that. Seek him early. At the first time you hear somebody say, "Hey, you're beautiful. What's your number? I would like to get to know you." Even that first phone call. After the first phone call, go ahead and ask your father, "Is this who you have for me?" Send me clarity, but not confirmation for my feelings, because now my feelings are gibbering and I'm all over the place. I'm so excited. I'm happy. Oh, I can potentially meet somebody. This could be my husband. You know how we do. We're going through 1,000 things, not even knowing. Put yourself first and take it to God first. Take it to God first, because seeking God early will prevent heartaches or heartbreaks and crying and questioning. And then next thing you know, you done lost yourself. You got low self esteem. You have no confidence. And the longer you stay in a bad thing, that's what happens. That is truly what happens. But if this video, I ain't going to say made sense, because it do make sense. You just have to ask God first. But if this video helped you just a little bit, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it to somebody so we can start getting more wisdom about dating, and not just dating just to be doing something. All right. Until next time, have a good one.